Welcome to Coco's Corner. I'm the huge one, Dave Coco with Kocosports, KOCOsports.com, and just with a little bit of a short podcast about TNA news. Spike TV cancels TNA Impact. Contracts will expire in just over 2 months. It was first broken by Fran Yelly, part of the internet infantry, and also TMZ has reported it. They've gone different routes. And to me, this is huge. TNA just doesn't seem to be getting it together, and this is a huge blow. Hopefully they gave them enough time to shop for networks, which was very classy by Spike TV, and hopefully they do the right thing. But TNA just doesn't have the history of doing the right thing. You have TNA extremists that will think TNA does great no matter what they do. Then you have WWE extremists who, no matter what TNA does, but you're not winning over the middle fan. The middle fan barely ever goes over to watch TNA. So, and every time you see, this is the thing. I've been with watching TNA since day one. You had to pay the $10 pay-per-views. Ken Shamrock. The weekly pay-per-views were awesome. Paying the $10. It's so funny too how much wrestling has changed. Getting me to pay $10 a month for the whole network is like, I don't know. But $10 to buy a pay-per-view back then, yeah, okay, I'll buy it. What the hell? So it's just funny how much wrestling has changed and even your mindset. But with that said, this is huge news for TNA. There are tons of internet reports that says Spike TV did not like Vince Russo. The email leaked. This might be drama. It might not be drama. I don't know. But there have been tons of reports that a lot of people don't like Vince Russo. And the Twitter TNA fans defended it, like, oh no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Is it a problem now? And a lot of people are like, the first reaction he gets is, from a lot of fans is, oh, it's the #1 rated show. Yeah, but it's still a 1.0. You have to realize how television works. And, I'm trying to break it down in the simplest format. If your best show is a 1.0, but it costs tons of money, and second place is an 0.5, and it costs nothing, you're going to go with it costs nothing. You can make a lot of money. A lot of times people think the biggest businesses make the most money, and that's not the case. They want cheap, easy content. And obviously TNA didn't deliver, and they were hoping for improvements. So to me, I feel bad for TNA, but at the same time, they make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Like right now, TNA is doing great in New York City. They're improving. But me being a middle guy, I don't hate TNA, I don't love TNA. When I go to tell people that who ain't TNA fanatics, and they can be fucking annoying as shit, hey, TNA's improving, they just don't fucking believe it. They're like, oh, we've done this song and dance before. So it's very interesting, and the internet rumors are going wild where it's going to land. I hope it gets a television deal. There are a lot of television networks out there, thanks to cable and possibly online. But I think if WWE's having a hard time getting subscribers, but then again, maybe Spike TV doesn't need as many subscribers. So it will be very interesting. A Global Force, I think there's something in the contract where they can't go to Spike. I could be wrong. And that's the thing about pro wrestling, and I think especially if you want to be a public traded company. TNA is not a public traded company, but WWE is a public traded company, yet they want to keep everything a secret. No one's going to invest you. You see how, we're talking? You want to be talking like the way I'm talking if it was a sports team, if it was an entertainment company. But pro wrestling lives in this, everything has to be magic and secret. Well, here's the thing, WWE, if everything's magic and secret, no one's going to invest in that. And the same thing with Spike TV. They're just not going to be like, okay, fucking, don't like Vince Russo. Oh, fucking, we tricked you. Get it? Yeah, now you're out. So Spike TV did do the classy thing, gave them a couple months to look for it. TMZ is reporting it, Kocosports.net. We do have it up there, so please go check it out. Where do you think it will land? Our editor came up with an idea. Maybe WWE Network. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but WWE, it's a 24-hour network. And UFC, they put on competitors, so would it possibly go to WWE? Now, granted, that's kind of a big dream, big step. Egos are going to get in the way. But there's Ion, CMTV. And the thing is, what fucks them out of, and what really hurts TNA right now, is not getting a Spike TV deal obviously hurts for many, many reasons. But shopping it around, yeah, it would be great if they could shop it around. Well, first off, it's great that they get shopping around, and WWE has already signed it. That is huge because WWE can just stall, whatever. But you still have Jeff Jarrett, who gets credit for building TNA, well-deserved credit in my opinion, shopping Global Force. And you had to go and prove that you could do it. And the New York shows are amazing. But let's say you're a Spike TV exec. Okay, you're a Spike TV exec. You're sitting down. You're like, you have to prove to us you can get the diehard fans. You go to New York and you do good. But let's be honest, how good really was it? You were in a smaller arena of that area. Ring of Honor had more fans than you. You're online as a joke, and Spike TV has to care about the reputation. It is a business. They do have to go on. And the thing is, what I don't know, and maybe someone else does know, is how much it really costs. Because it's their #1 show. How could they ever cancel it? #1 shows get canceled a lot if they cost too fucking much. When you go sit down and watch television, right? You go sit down and watch television, and you're like, wow, there's nothing but fucking reality TV show. It sucks. Even MTV shows nothing but reality TV shows because it's fucking cheap and easy. Maybe Spike found something that's cheaper and easier. So Spike TV has canceled TNA's Impact Wrestling contract, and they have about 2 more months. When will it get kicked off the air? I don't know. How will it affect New York? I don't know. But I'm going to keep track of it as best I can, and I just think it's huge news. Okay, if you got any live comments, please leave some live comments, and we'll go check it out. Mike Ashman says, let us fantasy be involved in the upcoming booking creative team meetings with the news. What would you make sure to attempt to do to save TNA and score a new TV deal? The problem at TNA is, as far as saving it, it's been out for 11 years. And it's not like it's been Ring of Honor building up. It's not like it's Pro Wrestling Guerrilla building up. It's been 11 fucking years on a pretty high stage. And they did everything. They did everything they possibly could do. So there has to come a point when you're Spike Television or when you're investing money into a product where you're like, it's not going to get better. And they had to prove it in New York City. Dude, I enjoyed it as a fan. I enjoyed the New York City shows as a fan. But as an exec, you have to be sitting there. There's 2 arenas side by side in the ballroom. Ring of Honor, who's nickeling and diming everything along the way, owned by a TV network, which makes no sense why the lighting is horrible, but that's totally different, is drawing huge crowds, and then you go to yours. And you're like, okay, well, why did we get the smaller arena? Why? So, and I don't know, what about Bound for Glory? This is a huge hit. You got to remember, a lot of people are so egotistical about big businesses. The WWE will never go out of business. MySpace will never go out of business. Yahoo will always be #1. But it always takes, when it comes to a wrestling company, what kills it and makes it is its television deal. ECW would still be around if they could find a new television deal. That's from Paul Heyman's mouth. So they have a lot of networks to shop around. They'll be interesting to what they do. But this has to be a huge blow. And if I was TNA for once, because I already seen some reports where Dixie's like, well, we're leaving Spike TV because they didn't advertise us. No, that is the wrong way to go. It's just a horrible way to go. Hey, no fan is going to fucking believe that. Not a soul. You might have your fucking loyalists that are like, it doesn't matter, TNA's Spike TV will be around forever. You'll have those fucking idiots. But everyone else that has a little bit of common sense will be like, no. That is not the route to go. I know you're telling people, well, we're leaving Spike. No. Just be fucking honest for once. Be fucking honest. Like, dude, we lost the television deal. We're trying. Because everyone could see right through it. You don't think TV execs are going to see right through that? Oh, you left Spike TV because they didn't advertise you enough? Why the fuck would I, if I owned a network, why would I go on it? You know? So, it would be very interesting. If I was Vince McMahon, this would never happen. But if I was Vince McMahon, I'd put them on the network. I'd put them on WWE Network. I'd get all their footage, and it's basically buying them without buying them. And I would put it on the network. That's what I would do if I was Vince. That's never going to happen. Hopefully they find a home soon. Now, there's only 2 months left. They have the New York City tapings. They've already advertised tons of shows. I wonder when the switch is going to happen. I don't know. The next few months are going to be very exciting. But television deals are the devil in pro wrestling. Television deals can kill you. This will be a huge hurdle. There was a time earlier when they had the pay-per-views, and then they had to wait. It was only online. Raven was the champion. Yeah, a lot of TNA loyalists don't know about that, but that was a hard time. I think they're going to have to. They're going to hit another hard time. This 2 months are going to be exciting. And New York was make or break. I've said it before. I thought, hey, New York has to be good. As a fan, I thought New York was good. As a business, Spike TV did not. So I don't know. Spike TV once again cancels TNA Impact Wrestling. It's going to be an interesting couple months. All right, but yeah, there's tons of different rumors. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. I'm just stalling for live comments. I apologize. Boom. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Boom. Boom. All right. Let's get some live comments. Mark Byrne. It's not just viewers, but advertisers. Advertisers don't think Impact is a good fit for their product. Oh, pro wrestling has that brand a lot, and that's why. Thank you for mentioning that, Mark. That's such a great point. Yeah, the advertisers don't. That's why WWE first off messed up big on their television deal by not saying they were sports. When they said we're entertainment, they lost out that deal. They could have got that NASCAR money. The problem was you were an entertainment company, and entertainment does not make as much money on sports on cable. Second off is, yeah, everyone that's like, I hate the fucking PG era, fuck PG. Yeah, dude, Mark's point is tremendously correct. Advertisers don't care how good the product is. They just want to know if it's a good fit for the product, and TNA is not a good fit. Pro wrestling is not a good fit. I disagree with that, but it doesn't matter what the fuck I think. It matters what those advertisers think. And those advertisers believe that wrestling is really bad. Great point, Mark. I really appreciate that comment. All right. LB Clash of Kings, I think fans that should help boost TNA ratings every week and really help saving TNA. The problem is, I would love that. I would love to get together. I would love to be like, let's save TNA. Let's make show Spike TV. They made a mistake. The problem with that is TNA loyalists. And I know that sounds crazy. Like, why would loyalists? I tell Boom Boom. Boom Boom's a close friend. We do a lot of podcasts together. I go to Boom Boom and say, hey, TNA is good. He just doesn't fucking believe it. Doesn't even fucking believe it. What can you say? You got to remember, Dixie Carter is already saying, oh, well, Spike wasn't advertising. We're dropping them. That's retarded. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. That is stupid. Even if it's 100% true, it's fucking stupid. Second, the TNA loyalists, this is how it is. The show can suck, but you'll say it's better than WWE and it's the best thing in the world. The problem with that is when people trust you, you can't cry wolf. You can't say your product's the best in the world. You can't have Dixie Carter going, it's going to change wrestling forever. You can't do that. You're crying wolf too many times. What are we going to say to these people that don't watch TNA? Let's be completely honest. Is it getting better? Yes. Is it better in New York City? Yes. Should they check it out? Yes. But what can we say to them that we haven't said before and that TNA loyalists haven't said? If the product could be complete shit, and they'd be like, this is the best fucking wrestling product in the fucking world, you're a fucking idiot. Well, people that checked out Spike and checked out TNA, their patience are thin. Boom Boom trusts me like a brother. Boom Boom knows I stick through the thick and thin of good and bad wrestling. I can tell him right now, TNA is really good. You should check it out. He's like, Dave, I love you like a brother. I'm not falling for it. There's so many times you can cry fucking wolf. And that's the problem with TNA loyalists, Dixie Carter, and TNA. You cried wolf too many times. All right. I think TNA a few months ago had a new partner to help them with stuff like advertisement. I forgot what the big company's name was. Yeah, but a lot of that is just PR crap. You got to remember that. I don't know. Hopefully they do better. Hopefully they find another network. All right. All right. So Mike Ashman says the best comedy writes itself, but the worst writers repeat the same outcome. Hashtag say goodnight Dixie, Jim Cornette. Yep, so Jim Cornette's having a field day on it because, you know, he was sure. But I don't understand how Dixie could be so loyal to Vince Russo. Yeah, let's say these stories are not true. Let's say all this story is made up. First off, you have an employee that you're lying about. That's a good sign. And second off, like, why? Why? It's still a 1.0. I think Dixie, bless her, Dixie Carter will probably be a great person to be your friend. Dixie Carter's probably a great mother, great wife. Dixie Carter's probably a great person. Loyalty to the end. The problem with this is she's a horrible business person. So there you go. All right, and I don't want to see TNA stars get the WWE talent treatment if they jump to WWE. I saw that play out. I don't want to see a repeat. Yeah, I hope. Well, TNA is a lot cheaper than WCW. And WCW and WWE's defense, when WCW went out of business, there was a lot of huge contracts. And WWE was like, why the fuck would I pay those huge contracts? Spike TV doesn't have those huge contracts. TNA doesn't have those huge contracts. So I could see maybe, but I don't think they're at the WCW level as far as interest goes. I think best case scenario, WWE buys it and puts it on the network. Or just gets all the content and puts it on the network. I don't think it will happen, but I don't know. I find it very interesting what Spike TV. I mean, not Spike TV. I'd like to see. I want to see Dixie Carter's next move. I find it to be very interesting. I find her next move to be more interesting than she's ever booked. So, and I wish her nothing but the best. I mean, I don't want to be a hater, but at the same time, you have to fucking live in the real world. And I think a lot of TNA fans and a lot of TNA defenders don't do that. I don't want to. And TNA needs to wise up. They had the chance to improve the product. Losing Spike is a major blow, without a doubt, no matter how they sell it. Now, it could lead to something great later on, but I'm hoping they learn their lesson. You know, signing all those WWE guys, they still got a 1.0. Doing all this stuff, they still got a 1.0. I just hope that, hey, maybe it'll do good. TNA needs to wise up. They had a chance, but it's not the end of Impact. It's time to shop their product around and hopefully find a new home. And I agree. I hope they find a new home. But you've got to remember, finding a new home on television isn't easy. There's very few shows that do that, and sports networks that do that. The major sports networks, yeah, they do it all the time. But, you know, a lot of the smaller things like ECW, Scrubs, a lot of times when you jump from network to network, it just doesn't fucking work out. So I wish them the best of luck, but this is a huge blow. And I'm very nervous and excited. But I hope for once, they don't do the Vince Russo approach of booking. Well, it's not my fault, bro. Not my fault. See, what happened was just fucking Dixie, a little heart-to-heart. Man up, admit that you made a mistake, and make it better. That's what the fucking TNA needs now more than ever. Then once you do that, take a deep breath and figure out where the fuck your company is going. And hopefully you have a huge announcement. And whatever the announcement is, I don't give a fuck if Impact is shown on the fucking moon. You go look outside on full moons and you see fucking, I don't know, Bully Ray cutting a promo on planet Earth. I don't give a fuck what the deal is. Do not in any way fucking say this is going to change wrestling forever. I hope Spike TV gets a new deal. I hope I'm not Spike. I keep saying Spike TV. I apologize. TNA. I hope TNA gets a new deal. I hope TNA succeeds. I hope TNA learns from its mistakes. With all that said, Dixie Carter, do not say it's an announcement that will change the world for wrestling forever. Just do not say that. Do not say that. Please. Dear Terry Funk, please get this message to Dixie Carter. Hopefully the shows still keep doing good, and hopefully they solve this quickly. But, you know, I see some people in the comments, you know, online, and they're like, oh, it's not that big a deal. This is a big deal, folks. All right, I'm going to go a couple more live comments and wrap it up. Boop. All right, and if you want to keep up with it, please check out Kocosports.com or your favorite pro wrestling blog, and I'm sure the internet will be all over this. All right. Boop. There we go. Andy Papp says, I know how TNA can stay on Spike, sell the majority of the company to Viacom. Oh, that's a huge possibility. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure Bellator is mostly owned by Viacom now. The Viacom will just own everything. Because the whole thing is, with Viacom and Spike, they probably, I know you're joking, but that probably would work because they don't want to build, and Spike, to these eyes, they helped Raw get to another level. In their eyes, UFC and MMA wouldn't exist if it wasn't for them. So they believe they helped Raw get to another level. They believe MMA and UFC was all them. That's what Spike TV honestly believes. Is it delusional? Of course it is, but that's what they believe. So if they owned part of the company, they believe they can do it again, like they are with Bellator, and we'll move it to the next level. They don't have to worry about them jumping ship. All right. Mike Ashman says, I personally feel TNA needs to now take the time to consider GFW promotions agreement ASAP. I mean, AAA, Lucha, give me 5 seconds. Come on, YouTube. You're really... New Japan, IGF Japan, and Inoki's, with another addition of various European promotions joining the force with Doug Williams given the cosign. TNA should make peace and be honest, consider joining the force. And I believe that. I believe that they should work with them. I think if you're not number one, you should be open to be working with other people, and not just Wrestle One. And plus, there are reports everywhere that Wrestle One and Muda is pissed that Russo's still working there. And Russo must be great at laying that cock. Do you think TNA will find a new network for their show? I hope so. I think it's going to be a big challenge. Not a laugh at you. Have a guy that has like, hey, here's Jeff Jarrett. He's the one that made TNA. Here's Dixie Carter. She's the one that ruined it. Oh, by the way, one's asking for a lot more money. You know, so I think the timing is absolutely horrible because I would team up with Jarrett, but I thought she should have sold it to Jarrett a long time ago. But we need territories, and this is Mike Ashman, we need territories of a brand that showcases various promotions ASAP. I agree with that. You would think in 2014 we'd have a channel dedicated to pro wrestling in North America. Yeah, but Vince is so good at deleting his competition, destroying it. He's so good at propaganda. Like, you go look, ECW Hardcore, well, what did Vince do? He made fucking hardcore seem stupid. Now you look at the masses of wrestling fans like, oh, I fucking hate hardcore wrestling. Well, because it's propaganda. He's really good at propaganda, and he's really good at taking out this thing. And a lot of times, especially American fans, and this is what TNA has a problem with, American fans, they refuse to watch anything but what's number one. Now, why do you think the Lakers have a lot more fans now than when they were struggling? The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat had a lot more fans a couple weeks ago than they do now. In America, TV watchers, they want to see what's number one. And it hurts the territories, it hurts everybody. Mike Ashman, or not even number one, but what they perceive as number one. They want to be the best, you know. Mike Ashman, TNA should go back to weekly pay-per-views. In worst case scenario, I mean, they already going back to their roots as far as pro wrestling product. Maybe the business model needs to go back to roots, weekly pay-per-views. WWE is out of that market. I think that'd be a great idea, but the network blows it away. Here's the problem. I paid $10 every week for those pay-per-views. I think TNA right now, maybe a little better than WWE. It depends. It goes up and down on each week. If you said, even in like New Japan, I think New Japan is the greatest fucking wrestling company in the world. And someone said, pay $10 a week for that, or get all of WWE for $10 a month. No one's going back to that. WWE's network did so much damage to its competitors. It's crazy. It's so hard to convince someone. You know, like, I want you, right now, you listening, 13 people listening right now, I want you to check out New Japan. Go to Ustream. It costs $40, $30, $20 per show. The G1 is a couple shows long. Yeah, go fuck yourself. $10 for everything? So I think they can't go back to that. LB Clash of Kings says GFW is supposed to be promotion where all the other promotions outside of WWE will be featured as the number one big company together like it used to be back in the old days with WWF, AWA, and NWO. He said NWO, but I'm thinking he meant NWA. And others back in the early 1900s. Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's what they should do, and hopefully it does work out. All right, getting some messages on Facebook. Dave, this Facebook, you know what? YouTube has a bad reputation for comments, but Facebook and Google Plus, phew, they get some bad comments. Let's skip. Like, I don't understand. TNA, it's like, dear Internet, this is one thing I don't understand. TNA gets canceled on Spike TV. Your first 3 comments, Facebook, are about race. Don't understand. Don't see it. I don't. All right, let's see. Dave, what would you rather see? See No Evil 2, which is starring Kane, or Leprechaun Origins, which is starring Hornswoggle? All right, well, glad we're staying on topic, Facebook. Probably the Leprechaun movie. I hated See No Evil. I thought WWE would do a lot better if that wasn't the first movie. I honestly think WWE would be way more successful at making movies if they chose a different movie. Even if they chose The Marine, if Stone Cold's movie was first, if they chose a good movie to promote as their first major one. And here's my Stump the Idiot question. Which movie star in a professional wrestling, no matter what gene, do you think is personally the best? I don't know. I like The Rock in a lot of his movies. All right. Bam. Let's see any more live comments from YouTube. Boop. Boop. All right. Here we go. WWE is the only promotion on mainstream TV again in October. Shake my fucking head. Good thing I stopped watching TV years ago, and thank the internet. Oh, yeah. Thank the internet beyond belief. I mean, I don't understand this younger generation. They're like, WWE sucks, TNA sucks. Oh, I'm done watching wrestling. I'm like, dude, we had to ship VHS tapes. Now you can see everything online. I mean, but then I guess maybe the problem is you see everything, so I don't know. But, yeah, thank goodness for the internet. You can all relax, enjoy everything. King DW 2100. How about they just have an internet show like they find a new network? That's a possibility, and I don't know. I think the biggest problem is their ego and how they make money because they have such high salaries. But if I was honestly going to run a third promotion or a fourth promotion, or if I was going to start an indie promotion, I ran an indie promotion back in the day, I would do it all internet. But I don't know if TNA, either they had the big ego or the budget to pull that off. So, yeah, I don't know if they could make their own network. It's a possibility, like maybe even on YouTube. Try to work out a deal with YouTube or something. But as far as their own network, it's going to be hard to compete with WWE. Like, even if TNA is a million times better, let's say you think TNA is a million times better, they don't have ECW. They don't have all that content. So it's going to be hard. And what do you charge? And how do you charge? How much do you charge and still be able to afford, the Jeff Hardys and all those guys? Andy Paps, 4 potential networks I could see TNA jumping into. Ion, yeah, possibility. Fox Sports, CMT, and True TV. Yeah. But I don't know. I think the money's going to be a lot lower on all these networks. So hopefully they do a good job. I'm rooting for you, TNA. I feel WWE will start mocking TNA on their shows now that they just heard TNA TV deal will not be renewed. I don't think so. The reason I don't think so is because why? Why? It would be different if they were number 1, if it was number 2. If I was WWE, and I think it was Bischoff. I think Eric Bischoff said this might have been through Russo. If you're number 1, you don't say anything about number 2, and if you're number 2, you go out like it would be kind of a waste just to make fun of them. I would actually, if I was WWE, I would try to help support them. I really would, because WWE needs competition. But as far as WWE mocking them, I don't know. Who wants to mock a guy while he's down? I don't know. I doubt they'll even mention it, to be honest. So, boom, boom. All right, I think that's it. Check out Kocosports.com, Kocosports.net. Let me see. I'm going to go through my plugs so you guys can get in your last comments, and then I'm going to wrap this up. All right, please support us by going to Kocosports.com or Kocosports.net. Jerry and David Cooley have been busting their asses off. Please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Kocosports is your home for combat sports, where the world comes to kick ass, and where it's okay to be a passionate fan. There's too many so-called experts that fucking forgot what it's like to be a fan, and I don't want to be that website. And if you really want to support us, we have an awesome Internet Infantry shirt there, so go please check it out. We try to do at least 1 or 2 podcasts a day on YouTube, so hopefully that works out. All right, let's go to live comments, and then we're going to wrap this up. So, bam, bam. There we go. I feel WWE will start... Okay, LB Clash of Kings. I think ESPN should pick up TNA and make them the first wrestling show featured on the network. Okay, first off, LB Clash of Kings, it's not. ESPN has had a lot of pro wrestling. When I was a kid, USWA, they even show classic stuff now. So it wouldn't be the first wrestling show featured on the network by far. ESPN has done it. The problem is ESPN buries professional wrestling bad. And it's not, it's got the predetermined thing, which ESPN absolutely hates. And it took forever for MMA and UFC to be even somewhat respected on that. I don't know, maybe ESPN would put it on late night, but is that even winning? I don't know. And then even if you are ESPN, if you have footage to classic wrestling, just throw that on there. So I would be shocked if ESPN picked it up. I don't even put ESPN on the radar. ESPN, I don't think would ever do it. I could be wrong. Matter of fact, out of all the, I would be, let's put it this way, I would be more shocked TNA signed a deal with ESPN than I would with if they went on the WWE Network. Like, if I had to rank the shockings, I'd be like, oh, they're going to the WWE Network. Never saw that coming. All right, I'm shocked. They sign a deal on ESPN, I'm like pooping my pants and going back to fucking stone caveman fucking shock. Like, what the fuck? Everything I know in life makes no sense. So, yeah, ESPN has had pro wrestling before, and I think they have getting a fair deal at a WWE would be there. All right, so I think that's it. Please check out Kocosports.net or Kocosports.com for more updates. And thank you for all the live viewers who left comments. And please like, comment, subscribe, and go to Kocosports.com, Kocosports.com. With that, I am